They saw the starlight that symbolizes death. They realized that her number of revivals had already run out. More zombies charged in. Yue encouraged Yen to keep going since there's no time to lament the past. They have to deal with the zombie wave first. Yen agreed. But there was a feeling for Yue. He recalled a nice memory with where the zombies have spread all throughout the city and hunters tried their best to defeat it. Yue and Yen were hidden behind a wall. It's already the third wave, but the zombie wave hasn't ended yet. Yue told her not to worry since there are at most 3 waves in a day and they are nearing the end. They just need to wait for the tide to recede. The Second World Zombie Siege is displayed on the system window. As the apocalypse strikes, the world faces disaster. Humanity, shrouded in darkness, is gradually mutating. The zombies are about to surround the city. As a survivor of the city, they have to work with others to protect the city. When the zombies break through, they will have nowhere to escape. The World Task 1 is to clear a secret realm. World Task 2 is to participate and successfully repel 3 zombie tides. After completing the above world tasks, they can activate the second world boss dungeon teleportation passage. They have to defeat the boss to enter the third world. The previous secret realm yielded 400,000. If he wants to enter the third world early, he needs to clear the secret realm as soon as possible. He opened a portal and told Yen that the zombie wave would end soon and she can restore her health for the time being. Yen asked what he would do. Wai simply replied that he had other things he needed to take off. Then he went through the portal. Yen was sad since she wanted to join too at Zombie Hospital level 17. Before the zombie tide ends, Yue plans to clear the secret realm as well. He entered the hospital. The zombies noticed him while he called Silver-Armored Scorpion. They marched forward to gain the experience waiting for them. It was late at night. Coins are being dropped. Yui was notified by the system that he had cleared level 17 Zombie Hospital and received plus 200,000 EXP, plus 1 gold, plus 30,000 exotic energy with 10-fold increase. He acquired plus 1 Demon Slayer ring, 1 lightning spell skill book, 1 elite pet egg. Yue has completed the second world task and the second world passage has been activated. He has to defeat the world boss to proceed to the third world. Yue had leveled up to 20 and required 120,000 EXP to level up again. He threw the coins to Silver-Armored Scorpion who loved it. With that, the Silver-Armored Scorpion can slowly evolve and become a mythical level character soon. Yu was pleased that he had gained a new skill and new equipment with increased attack power and health. Once the zombie tide recedes, he can prepare to clear the second world. Super Lightning Spell, a grade, summons a lightning strike to attack a single enemy, dealing 300% magic damage. It has a special effect of 30% chance to paralyze the enemy for 1 second. The paralyzed state cannot perform any actions. It costs 95 mana points and 5 seconds cooldown. The Purgatory Demon Slayer Envoy, level 20, gold, is a 3-star weapon for mage or beast tamer. It has magic attack power of 155, intelligence plus 10, spirit plus 10. Each attack by the wielder burns 200 mana points from the enemy. If the enemy's mana is insufficient, an equivalent amount of health is deducted. It is a ring that seals demons coming from hell heading toward darkness. Then a message came in. Yen invited him to fight the second world boss together now that the zombie wave is over. Yao had a message, too. He needs Yue's help to fight the world boss. Yue thought that with the Forbidden Mag's assistance, the odds are better. And he also considered how Yao helped him a few times. He replied to them that they will meet in 15 minutes at the Zombie Royal Palace. Both Yen and Yao replied, okay. Outside of the city, Yen asked Yao why he brought so many people. Yao acknowledged that Yen is powerful, but he wants to be safe in dealing with the ultimate boss of the second world. So, he brought more healers just in case. Yui replied that it's alright if he's happy with it. The system window notified them that the world task has been completed and now the teleportation portal to the second world boss dungeon can be activated. They are tasked to defeat the boss of the third world. The system detected a multi-person team, so they were prompted if they liked to enter the second world boss dungeon as a group. UUA made a golden orb on his palm and threw it on the yes button. The portal appeared. The second world boss dungeon is now activated. You informed them that they were about to enter. Yao ordered his men to stay close to the big boss. They walked towards the portal, and when they arrived, the place was covered in black heavy smoke. The whole place was in ruins, and at the center stood the Lev 20 Zombie King, a physical type 3-star boss. Their jaws dropped seeing how huge the boss is. One man from Yao's team commented how it's completely on a different level compared to that wild boar from the first world. One man was worried since they almost got wiped out by that level 17 boss in the secret realm. He doubted if they can really handle a LV-20. UA ordered them not to move. He informed them to stay back and not get too close to the boss, or else it can take them out in one hit. It's time for the silver-armored scorpion to shine now. It came out and roared loudly. Having gained a lot of experience in pet eggs from the secret realm and the zombie tide, the gap between the silver-armored scorpion and the boss has greatly narrowed. The zombie king noticed them. He asked if they also wanted to taste the flavor of death. Silver-armored scorpion moved fast. It hit the zombie king and dealt 555 damage. It was followed up by UA with his fireball. The zombie king took a direct hit. The new equipment has greatly enhanced his attack. If this pace continues, the boss would just be a bit stronger than an ordinary monster. The zombie king yelled for them to get away. He punched the silver-armored scorpion. The zombie king is angry and yells that he'll show them his power. It punched the ground and several tentacles came out. The ground shattered. Silver UUA watched the zombie king. The system window appeared saying that the second world boss, Zombie King's passive destruction of heaven and earth, has been triggered. The place went on fire and the ground shattered. They asked what's going on. The zombie king started moving. Then he yelled that he would take them to hell with him. Yao panicked and asked what they should do. He's worried because he doesn't have any resurrection scrolls left. If he dies, he won't be able to go back. The portal was too far. There's not enough time for them to run back in there. The place is being enveloped with lava. UUA looked at the silver-armored scorpion and he understood. He grabbed Yao and placed his hand around Yan's hip. He told them there's no time to explain. Then he threw them towards the silver-armored scorpion. Then he ordered silver-armored scorpion to use all his strength to throw them towards the exit. Silver-armored scorpion grabbed them with its claws. Yao looked funny as the wind distorted his face. He asked what kind of international joke he's playing. Silver-armored scorpion threw them in the air and they went flying. It was so scary that Yao instinctively called out his mother. They made it out to the portal by falling hard. Yao expressed how he thought he's going to die. Yin was worried about Yua because he hasn't come out yet and the exit will disappear soon. Yai and silver-armored scorpion stood at the edge of the cliff surrounded by lava. Ya told silver-armored scorpion to throw him with all his might, and the moment he's thrown he will immediately retrieve him. Silver-armored scorpion did exactly what he said. While in the air, Yue retrieved the silver-armored scorpion just in time before the ground fully collapses. Yue was close to the portal, but a lava shot up from the ground blocking his way. The inertia was interrupted and he was falling. He pulled out his staff and released fire on the ground to shoot himself upwards. It caused a great explosion. Yao and Yen panicked since the portal is getting smaller and smaller. Yao was overreacting, saying how Yua gave up his life for him. But then a quick movement came out of the portal. It was you. He returned safely and smiled at them. They immediately approached him to check on him. You replied that he's fine except for the aftershock of the explosion being strong. The system window appeared with a regional announcement for Voting City. It's a congratulatory message for Zero for defeating the second world boss and completing the second world. Yao celebrated since he finally did it. He thanked Yua and planned to reward him with 1 million. Yua announced that now the task is finished, he needs to go back and rest. Yen called out to him. She informs him that Jun has left Yanu Pavilion, and from what she knows about him, he will definitely find a way to take revenge on you. She advised him to be careful. Yu replied that he understands. Yao noticed how Yan's control skills are spot on. Being the first batch of players to clear the second world as new professionals, he invited her to go to the third world together. Yen flatly refused him. Yao accepted her decision and told her that they should work together again when they got the chance. Yen commented how the bond between people is truly amazing. Those two used to not get along, but now they unexpectedly become friends. The third world is the arrival of the Grim Reaper. The place is like a graveyard. On a certain grave, the ground cracked and a hand appeared. Yao's member commented how the safe zone in the third world is too thrilling. They came out of the grave pits. Yao looked funny with his body buried from hips to his toes. Yao told his brothers that they are the first batch of new professionals to reach the third world. Their plan is to level up quickly and strive to become the top guild in the Zhejiang province. Someone stepped on Yao's hand. He got pissed off. He asked who dares to step on him and threatened the person by asking if he's tired of living. The man asked him if he's Lu Yao from the Supreme Guild. He looked for you and asked them to bring Ui to him. Yao pointed his finger at the man and asked him who he thought he was and that he won't call him just because the guy said so. Yao's man whispered to him, saying how those men don't look friendly and they appear to be professionals who stayed in the third world. He suggested calling you. Yao replied that he doesn't care if they're old professionals. He stands his ground not to sell out his brothers. The man asked if he's not listening and slowly showed the blade of his sword as a sign of threat. Then he told Yao not to blame him for being rude. A strong wind blew Yao's hair. The man stabbed Yao, but it seemed like the sword became see-through upon contact with Yao's body. They were surprised to see an invalid attack. It made them think that Yao was still under newbie protection. It was a puzzle to him now that a low-level noob under level 20 managed to pass the second world. Yao was grateful that newbie protection has a 10-level difference limit or they'd be doomed. One of Yao's men suggested to take the chance to escape, but of course, the opponent wouldn't let them. Suddenly, those men attacked them. The leader might not be able to attack Yao, but it doesn't mean others can't. One of the attackers is a LV-25 first-turner warrior named Hiller Laosan. The other attacker is LV-25 first-turner warrior named Lao Lar. One of Yao's men recognized that these people are a mercenary group specializing in killing players for money. The man told Yao that it's his last chance to bring Yue there. He threatened them that if Yue doesn't show up, they will die. Yu was informed that the medical fee that he sent to the hospital has been received. He was assured that they will take good care of his younger brother. Yue thanked them for their hard work. He read Yue's message thanking him for helping him defeat the boss and that he gave the compensation with a little extra for all Yue's troubles. This made Yue realize that this person is a rich second-generation kid and he's certainly generous. With the million-plus yuan, Yue won't have to worry about medical bills anymore. Suddenly, Yue received a call. When he answered it, it was Yao's guild member begging him to save the guild leader since he was about to die. Few hours later in the third world, the mercenaries sensed that someone was coming. Yu walked towards them. He demanded Yao to be let. They stood face to face. Not-so-cold Killer was impressed that Yue managed to survive on his strikes, but he planned to finish the fight. In Yue's head, this LV-30 assassin has higher agility than him, so he knew he can't dodge the attack. Violet light came out. It was the silver-armored scorpion. It blocked the dagger. Silver-armored scorpion made a roaring noise. The assassin attacked again. He was confident that he's going to hit Yue while Yue knew he can't dodge it. Unexpectedly, the assassin was stunned. Yen caused that. She asked if Yue's okay. The assassin knows he's in a bad situation. Yue took this chance to avenge himself. The assassin got scared. A large flame engulfed him. His body slowly became charred. He couldn't believe that a mere LV-20 beast tamer with such high damage could defeat a fully gold-equipped LV-30 assassin. He uttered that Yen appeared several times at critical moments to help him out of crisis. Then he thanked her. Yen replied that it seems like they're connected by fate, but deep inside she felt lucky that she kept an eye on Yue's online status. Otherwise, there's no way for her to create such an opportunity. Yao apologized to Yue. Yu replied that it was nothing since those men were really after him. Yen suspects Jun since he's been acting suspiciously lately and she had long suspected that he's planning something. He asked Yue what he wants to do. Yen asked him if he knew those people. Yao replied that he knew that they're from the assassin mercenary group. Yu asked for their background. The assassin mercenary group is a very small guild of assassins established 10 years ago. It is said that there are more than 50 assassins in the group, but none of them are above level 30. Yao finds it impossible that they have been 10 years in the other world, yet they are only at level 30. Yue explained that reaching level 30 requires a second job advancement. As long as they don't advance, they'll never surpass level 30. They've likely exploited that bug. One of Yao's members raised that the bandits have long been lurking in the third world, making a living by robbing newly advanced professionals. Over the years, they've accumulated so much that their equipment and abilities have been refined to gold attributes, so they're very strong. Yao knew that robbery is usually for money, so he's puzzled that they wouldn't let him go when he offered a high price. Yue replied that if it's not for money, another reason is that they are being coerced. They failed this time, but Yue knew that they were sure to come back stronger. Yao asked what they should do since the level gap is too wide. There's no way they can keep fending them off. Ye brought up the topic that Yao's family is close to the legendary crafting family, the Shurao family. He asked if they could help them craft a piece of equipment. Yao asked what kind of equipment. Yue pats him on the shoulder and replied that any equipment under level 20 will do, but it must have one condition, the Heart of the Demon effect, and the sooner the better. Yao replied that it's not a problem, but he's curious as to why they need such equipment. Yu replied that their survival in the third world depends on it. At night time in a building, someone was angry that a level 30 assassin lost to a level 20 beast tamer. The man slammed the table. Sha Shu Chai, the leader of the assassin mercenary group named Assassin Page, replied that the brothers were too careless and fell into someone else's trap. He assured Boss Chen that he'll personally handle it. Mr. Chen intimidated him and told him not to disappoint him again, otherwise there will be consequences. Pachi replied, yes. Meanwhile, Yue made his staff glow. It kept on going while he rested. At his current level, going against the assassin mercenary group alone is suicide. The system showed details about Death Caesar. The once prosperous human capital has turned into a graveyard after being ravaged by Death Caesar. The survivors have no choice but to migrate into tombs to evade Death Caesar's attacks. They must ensure their tomb's defense value is above 100, or they will have no chance of resisting when Death Caesar strikes. World Quest 1 is to raise their tomb's defense value from the initial 300 to 2000. World Quest 2 states that they must complete at least one task with a difficulty rating no lower than 300. Completing the world quests will unlock the third world's boss challenge. Defeating the boss allows access to the fourth world. Another system window showed that Death descends, dealing 88 points of damage to Yue's tomb. In the third world, he can enhance his tomb's defense by slaying monsters, completing tasks, and clearing dungeons. Death Caesar attacks the third world indiscriminately every night at 12 o'clock, lasting 10 minutes. If any professional fails to return to their tomb, or if their tomb's defense drops to 0, they will be instantly killed. Everyone, including assassins, will retreat to their tombs to escape him. That was Yue's only chance. Now all he needs to do is to wait for Yao. He received a message. It was from Yao stating that the equipment is ready. Yao entered the third world and hurried to Yue. We expressed that he didn't expect it to be done in just one day. Yao replied that his dad is good friends with the head of the Shao family and besides it was urgent. Yao expressed how the Xiao family is truly worthy of the title legendary craftsman since they managed to create top-tier equipment in such a short time. Heart of the Demon. It is at level 20 with 2 stars and gold attributes. Its magic attack is 100 with a bonus intelligence plus 6. When at full health, the wielder will be immune to lethal damage from a single strike. This is a staff forged from the eyes of a demon and tempered in black water imbued with immense demonic power crafted by Shiajiba. Yao asked you if they are heading out to fight together. He shared that members of the guild said that the assassins are waiting outside the safe zone targeting the members of the Supreme Guild. Wera replied that he has other plans. A system window appeared to display a message about the Holy Light Tomb. All professionals in the Holy Light Tomb were warned that Death Caesar would attack in 5 minutes, so they had to retreat to their tombs immediately. Yao announced that this army is under the command of Death Caesar, ruler of death. As long as they are destroyed, the power of Death Caesar, the ruler of death, will definitely weaken. Yua agreed that they cannot allow Death Caesar to bully them. The man was pleased that he gave Yue a thumbs up and told him that he will wait for good news. Yue received the mission called Facing Death. It's a normal quest with 440 difficulty. The Holy Light Cemetery faces repeated threats from Death Caesar, the ruler of death. Yada yada yada. I ain't reading all that. During Death Caesar's invasion, once they leave the Holy Light Cemetery, there's only one outcome. Death. The red gigantic, menacing, demonic-looking creature let out an attack from its mouth. Yu made a barrier to defend himself. He was informed by the system that his grave is being attacked by Death Caesar, making him lose 97 points. The cemetery's remaining defense value is 121 points. Another system window appeared to inform him that the effects of Darkness and Devil's Eyes and Heart of Demon have been activated. Yui successfully resisted the fatal damage caused by Death Caesar. Yui felt grateful that he asked Yao to enhance the staff. The Heart of Demon effect is perfect for resisting Death Caesar. It's because no matter how much health an adventurer has, if that person is within the attack range of Death Caesar, instant death is inevitable. The enhancement effect of the Heart of Demon provides immunity to his skills. You discovered it by accident in his previous life while exploring the Fourth World. In the Third World, such equipment can only appear if crafted by a skilled craftsman. Thanks to Yao's connection with a legendary craftsman, the equipment this time is better than in his previous life, and it didn't take much time. Yue planned to be back soon. Meanwhile, at the safe zone, Yao expressed that he's scared to death since Death Caesar is truly powerful. His subordinate told him that it's just the beginning. If they can't venture out to level up anymore, when the cemetery's defense points drop to 0, they will be doomed. Jun appeared and noticed Yao walking by. He asked Yao why he's standing in the safe zone and not daring to go out. He asked if Yao is afraid that if he leaves, he'll never make it back to the Third World. Pei reminded Jun that it's important to seize the opportunity and go out to level up. Jun got pissed off from being told what to do. He reminded Pai that his mission is to capture Yue. Pei clarified with him that he will protect him, but if he dares to touch a single hair on Cheeky's body, he won't let him get away with it. Jun replied that it will all depend on Pei's behavior. If he's obedient, then his daughter will be fine. Jun advised Yao to hand over Yui as soon as possible. Otherwise, even if they don't kill Yao, Yao won't survive the night. Yao was pissed off. He commented that Jun relies on his high rank to look down on others. Yen hurriedly approaches Yao and asks where Yue is. She has an important message for him. Yao's subordinate replied that Yue took the equipment and fled. Yen replied that it's impossible. It made the subordinates pale. They already assumed the worst, like Yue fled and left them to fend for themselves. Yao told them to stop talking nonsense. He corrected them by saying that it's not right to doubt people that they employ. If they will just doubt them, it's better not to employ that person at all. And he clarified that Yue is not that kind of person. His subordinate asks how he can still trust him. Suddenly, Yao received a message from Yue asking for a favor. Yao was pleased that you looked for him. Yen was jealous that Yao was the one asked for a favor. She decided that she will make him understand that she's far stronger than Yao. Yao informs Yue that Jun has entered the third world and brought about 10 high-level assassin mercenaries to personally guard him, and that Jun is using the daughter of someone with the highest position as a hostage to force the mercenary to carry out his tasks. Yue replied that he understands. Yao asked him where he was. Yue replied that he's in the City of Death. At City of Death, Yen was walking around. According to the data, most monsters in the City of Death range from level 25 to level 28. Based on their level, it shouldn't be enough to handle the monsters there. A hand came out of the ground, and that spooked Yen. She didn't notice that a zombie appeared behind her, too. The zombie was stopped when someone used the ice cone technique. Yen recognized that voice. Yue grabbed her and burned the zombie in front of her. Yen blushed while thinking how he had come to save her again. A man approached Pei to clarify since their mission is to kill Yue, but it seemed like the boss is personally taking Jun to upgrade. Pei replied that whether it's about killing people or upgrading, as long as the sponsor gives money, they just do what they say. Pei vowed that when Yue comes out, he will make sure to avenge himself and make sure Yue had no place to be buried. Suddenly, a person hidden under the robe walked away. Pei noticed it and scolded that kid for sneaking away. The person hurriedly ran away from them. Pei was furious. He screamed at the person to die in there, and there's no need to build a tomb for that kid. The man in the robe rushed to Yao. Yao asked how it went and if the man wasn't recognized. The man was pleased to report that he wasn't found out. He shared that those people kept cursing on Yue, wishing him to die inside the graveyard. They shook hands and Yao instructed the man that there's nothing for him to do. The money will be transferred to his account soon. He reminded the man not to mention it to anyone. The man thanked Yao. One of Yao's men raised to him how Yue wanted to use them to help him create the illusion that he's still in the graveyard. He's curious as to why Yao is still helping him when if he tells the assassin group about it, they might let go of the siege on the Supreme Guild. Yao replied that Yue wants them to wait for him in the safe zone. The man confronts Yao if he's confused. Since Yue is all alone, he believes that even if he comes back, there's no way he can deal with so many high-level professionals from the assassin mercenary group. Yao screamed, "Okay." And with determination in his eyes, Yu simply replied, "I need to." Yen offered to help him. Yen reasoned that the monsters will be of high level and very dangerous. Yen assured him that he has nothing to worry since Yan's sister gave her a new set of equipment and her attack and defense increased by quite a fair bit. Yue is not surprised that he sees 400,000. Whenever Yen does something, it's always extravagant. Yue agreed and decided to redo their fighting strategy. Deep inside, Yue thought that with 400,000 helping him, their efficiency will be much higher. But the main priority is protecting her safety. Yen agreed. The mission is called When Facing Against Death, and it's an ordinary one with a difficulty value of 440. The class user is tasked to enter the capital of Death and kill select soldiers of the skeleton army. Time frame is 3 days. UI realized that based on their current progress, within 3 days, it will be an uphill battle to increase their level and upgrade their equipment. Yui remembered the third world had a level 25 secret realm, Skeleton Island. This shield condenses mana to cast a magic shield that can absorb damage for the caster or one ally within 30 yards. Shield value equals 300% of the caster's magic attack power lasting for 10 seconds. While the shield is active, it increases the shielded ally's defense by 15%. It consumes 155 mana and has a cooldown of 20 seconds. You thought it wasn't bad. They got a life-saving skill in a Death Knight set selection box. He stated that as long as they avoid Jun's people and return to the Sacred Light Cemetery to turn in the quest, they can easily reach level 25 and the current dilemma will be resolved. Yen uttered that the enemy is at level 30. She asked if he's certain that level 25 is enough. She offered to use her sister's connections just in case. Yue assured her that it can be handled. He pats her head, and it makes her blush. Then she brought up the bounty scroll which she acquired during the first clear. She asked if they should open it. She stated that the tasks in the other world are generally divided into 3 types: regular, hidden, and bounty. Among them, hidden quests have the lowest probability and are of high rarity. Bounty quests have the highest uncertainty, but most of them are related to monetary rewards, so they are not as highly regarded as hidden quests. The potion consumption has been massive the past 2 days, so it's a good opportunity to earn some money for supplies. Suddenly, a golden light struck the ground. They asked what's going on. A silhouette of a monster could be seen. Then a window screen displayed that the bounty quest has refreshed to reveal a boss in the current map, the City of the Dead Golden Skeleton King, level 28, physical type, 3-star. Yen had triggered a rare opportunity. She was asked if she would like to upgrade the completed task Fight Against the Reaper to the rare hidden quest Hunt the Skeleton King. She asked UUA what the system means by upgrading the completed task. UUA explained that choosing to upgrade the quest means giving up the original quest rewards. If they don't complete the upgraded quest, it will be all for nothing. And under normal circumstances, UUA would definitely choose to upgrade the quest. But that's exactly the concern. If June shows up, everything they worked for could be lost. Yen stated that hidden quests are rare and hard to come by, so there's nothing to be hesitant about. She suggested grabbing it before June and his people react. UUA agreed. They clicked the option to upgrade. The window screen confirmed their upgrade. It also showed task rewards that have been enhanced, plus 500,000 EXP, plus 500 cemetery defense value, plus 10 gold, plus 100,000 energy. Death Knight set level 25 plus 1 2-star full set of 7 pieces, class selectable, plus 2 selectable skill books, plus 3 elite pet eggs. Rewards are granted to the player who kills the Golden Skeleton King boss, and the time remaining they have is 59 minutes and 55 seconds. Yen was excited with the rewards since it was much better than the previous task. To her, it is definitely a win. UUA replied that it's a bit troublesome and that it's just the 2 of them, finishing the kill within an hour seems tough. Suddenly, they heard a voice saying how they're fortunate to encounter a boss spawn. UUA covered Yan's mouth, and then they hid behind the boulder. June continued expressing how killing those monsters will give them some generous rewards. But when he saw that it's a level 28 3-star boss, he knew the guy could send them to meet their grandmother with just a single kick. The monster towered over them. June instructed his men to weaken the monster and leave the final blow to him. One of his men argued that it would get them killed. Pachi accepted the task and ordered Old 2 and Old 3 to be the tanks and focus on aggro. Then he told the healer to focus on the buffs and healing. Assassins and Pachi would focus on dealing damage. They charged at it. Chai hit it with his sword. The monster roared loudly. It tried to counterattack, but Chai managed to dodge it. Then Chai told the healer to cast debuffs on the monster. The healer acknowledged his order. The monster was debuffed. Yen took a peek and asked UUA if he planned to let them fight first to drain some of the monster's stamina. UUA replied that it's called the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. The mage fired while the swordsman charged forward. The Golden Skeleton King was hit right at the chest. Yen uttered that as expected of an elite-level assassin team, with just a few people, they deal such high damage. UUA noticed the team composition, there's a front line, output, and healing. Plus, their coordination is very good. The boss of the elite assassins, Pei, sensed something. June yelled at them to hurry up and take down the monster. He threatened that if he can't level up and get the rewards, they will all suffer the consequences. He asked why they stopped. One of the elite assassins told their boss that the guy was too much. Their boss threw a knife and yelled, "Come out." UUA saw that the blade was sent in their direction. An explosion happened. Eventually, the dust was cleared and it revealed UUA and Yen. UUA expressed that he didn't actually expect them to discover him. Pei glanced at UUA. Eventually, he chose to deal with the Golden Skeleton King. UUA told Yen that they have to find a chance to stall them and take down the boss first. Meanwhile, at Yao's party, his subordinate was worried because if they don't get out of there, they will die. One of them regretted not selling Yue to the assassins earlier to escape. Unexpectedly, they noticed that the assassins are gone. They felt relieved that those killers finally left. Yao was curious as to why they retreated. He speculated that they must have found Yue. One of the subordinates told him that it's their chance to farm monsters and build up the cemetery defense value. He encouraged him to forget about Yue. Another subordinate seconded that, otherwise they'll die in there. Yao held on to Yue's promise to free them that night. He knew that if Yue was captured by the assassins, everything would be ruined and he can't just ignore Yue. His subordinates were dumbfounded. Yao ordered them to gather all the guild members and head to the city of the dead. He announced that everyone who joins will have their salary doubled for that month. His subordinates sighed. They talked among themselves that their boss is so righteous that they don't know if that's a good thing or not. The other one replied that thinking too much won't help and they should just quietly go since they can't say no to money. Meanwhile, Pei charged at the Golden Skeleton King. He told the healer to watch his positioning and keep weakening it and leave the rest to him. The healer replied, "Okay." The healer released a powerful purple glow from his body. The Golden Skeleton King was about to grab him. He screamed out loud. Meanwhile, Yue and Yen just watched from the sidelines. Tension filled the air as Yue and Yen observed the Golden Skeleton King's next move while Pei glared at it. Jun saw the numbers decreased, so he got cautious until the backup arrived. The Golden Skeleton King hit the ground powerfully. Yue counted on Yen to do her thing. She immobilized the monster. Yue took his only chance. But Pei chased after him to hinder him from succeeding. Suddenly, an orb of bright light like a small sun appeared and was released toward Pei. Pei got annoyed. Who dared to ruin his plans? Several men were seen running toward them. The leader of those men informed Yue that their boss is holding the rear and sent them to support him. They were ordered to protect Yue and even if it cost their death, they will be compensated 30,000. He led everyone to charge. Pei talked to his assassins, saying that those newcomers are just a bunch of ants they can handle. His men charged too. They were annoyed at Yao's guild because they're just a bunch of mad dogs they locked up for days, and still they dare to act recklessly. The assassin killed the leader of Yao's group. Meanwhile, Yue released a powerful beam toward the monster. Pei's jaw dropped upon witnessing that because he knew the guy is only in 20-ish level. He couldn't believe that the damage would be that high. He went after Yue because if they let him continue, the boss will be stolen. Yen saw him and dared to interrupt. He was immobilized. He glared at her and told her that out of respect for Jun, he didn't strike her down, but it seemed like she's seeking death, so he'll grant her that. He exudes his power to break free. He left a trail of dust. The next thing we knew is that he charged toward Yen and pierced her heart. Yue saw it and turned pale. Yen encouraged him to keep going. Then she vanished. Yue grits his teeth in anger. He rained down a barrage of attacks on the monster while Pei released several blades toward him. The Golden Skeleton King tries to punch Yue. He made a barrier to protect himself. He absorbs power in his spear and released that concentrated energy directly at the skeleton's chest. Flame engulfed the Golden Skeleton King. Then the system screen notified Yue that he successfully killed the level 28 3-star boss Golden Skeleton King. He obtained rewards like plus 42,000 experience points, 55% performance with 20% last hit, and an additional energy of 28 million. The flame continued to burn. At the center of it all was Yue, and he looked angry. Yao, along with the rear team, saw that the boss was gone. He assumed that it was done by Yue, which boosted their morale to hurry up and join them. Yue felt fortunate for obtaining a defensive skill when clearing the secret realm, and that helped him block the boss's final strike. He had to turn in the quest to level up. He started with collecting the loot first. Suddenly, the system screen appeared to notify him that since he killed the Golden Skeleton King, he had triggered the Necromancer class effect called Necromancer's Harvest. He was asked if he wanted to harvest the boss's golden skeleton king as a pet. He happily replied, yes. Meanwhile, June was furious. He ordered Pei to hurry and bring back the loot for him, otherwise, he'd kill his daughter. So, Pei charged at UUA. UUA told him not to be in a rush since it would soon be their turn to lose their heads. Pei swung his sword. June threatened Pei again that he'd kill his daughter. This time, Pei couldn't hold back and he pushed him. June fell on his butt, but Pei pushed him to the ground and stomped on his chest. He warned him that if he lays a finger on his daughter, he'd tear him into pieces. June defended that it was just a misunderstanding. He tried to clarify that what he meant was that the kid just slaughtered a level 28 3-star boss and even snatched all the loot from the boss, which means that he'd only get stronger. If they missed that chance, it would be hard for him to kill him later. Pei scoffed and announced that killing UUA was as easy as flipping his hand. Yao arrived and was surprised to see that UUA was no longer there. He thought that he just ran away. Pei ordered the killing of those people from the Supreme Guild, but June stopped him because he planned to use Yao as bait to lure UUA. The system congratulated UUA for completing the hidden quest called Chill the Skeleton King. He had obtained rewards like plus 500,000 experience points, plus 500 cemetery defense value, plus 10 gold coins, and plus 100 million energy. With that, he reached level 25. UUA didn't expect that the boss could even become a pet. He knew that if he trained it well, he had faith that he'd come. UUA instructed him to go back first and leave the rest to him. Yao cried, begging him to retreat together since he believed that they couldn't take on those assassins. He knew that once they were back in the city, they wouldn't catch them. UUA told him that it would be fine. He urged him to go so he wouldn't hold him back. While in tears, Yao took out a scroll and assured UUA that he'd come back with his people right away. As long as there's anyone in his guild that can revive, no matter what the cost, he was determined to bring them to help him. Yao was gone. UUA challenged those men to attack him. Pei ordered them to attack. They looked down on him for being a beast master, so they were confident that they could kill him. They competed against each other because whoever took UUA down would get a reward from their boss. UUA pulled out his staff and it fully materialized, and with it, he summoned the Dark Skeleton King. Their jaws dropped. They couldn't fathom how he could summon a Golden Skeleton King. They questioned what monster he messed with. UUA remembered that he had to thank them. He took out some eggs and told them that he reached level 25, but the eggs were level 30 elites, and the silver-armored scorpion was a bit weaker. The system asked him if he would like the Golden Skeleton King to inherit all the silver-armored scorpion skills and experience. When he accepted that, the system notified him that the Golden Skeleton King had devoured the silver-armored scorpion. The evolution increased by 1, which made the current evolution 10 out of 10. With that, the Golden Skeleton King elite level evolved into a rare level. The next evolution required devouring 10 rare pets. In addition, the Dark Skeleton King inherited the charge assault from the silver-armored scorpion. He said sorry to the scorpion. Then he clicked the screen for the Death Knight set. With that, he received the full Death Knight set level 25 2-star. Summoning a same-level skeleton warrior made him think that it was similar to having 2 pets. Plus, if he refined it to 10 golden attributes, the effect would be stronger. He started refining. The treasure chest opened. It gave out a bright golden light. A notification flashed on UUA's screen, signaling that he had acquired several powerful items, all level 25 with 2-star ratings. Among them was the Eternal Magic Wand. He also received the Demon-Slaying Death Ring, the Eternal Magic Hat. Next was the Demon-Slaying Death Robe, the Demon-Slaying Death Pants. He also obtained the Demon-Slaying Death Boots. Lastly, the Eternal Magic Chain. With all these powerful additions in his inventory, UUA was finally done. He just needed to equip the Skeleton King gear he prepared, and his pet would be tankier than defensive boots. And with its warrior stats, it was strong in both offense and defense. He vowed that this time he wouldn't let Jun and the other sleeve live. He ordered the Dark Skeleton King to go. The assassins didn't fear him since he was just a beast master. They charged at him even when the Dark Skeleton King was behind him. The Dark Skeleton King raised its hand and its power struck down those assassins. Pei was surprised that it had high defense and powerful attacks. He questioned if that was the kid's strength. Jun yelled at them to move. He asked Pei if he wanted to save his daughter. Pei looked annoyed. He was raging, but he had planned what to do. Deep inside, he was annoyed at Jun. Because of him, he lost so many brothers. So he vowed that once he saved his daughter, he'd slice Jun into 1,000 pieces. He was confident that if he took Yue down, the pet would be useless. Yue blocked his sword with his staff. He smirked and asked him if he really thought he came unprepared. Pei was caught off guard when another skeleton appeared behind him to strike him down. He couldn't believe that there was a second pet. The skeleton hit Pei on his back. Yue released all his powers. Several different kinds of attacks were unleashed. Pei couldn't believe it since that kind of damage was absolutely impossible for an ordinary level 20 player. He wondered if it was because of some top-tier equipment or other item. 2 assassins hit the skeleton from behind and dealt -500 damage. One of them reported that the Skeleton King was so tanky that even their gold gear couldn't cut it. Pei decided to go after the Beastmaster first since the Skeleton King was just a pet. He instructed them to leave 2 high-agility ones to restrain the Skeleton King while the rest focused on attacking Yue. He believed that Yue wouldn't be able to withstand the attacks from those level 30 players. The rest followed the instructions. Yue sidestepped to evade their attacks. As he attacked one of them, another assassin targeted his back. He immediately turned around and electrocuted the attacker. 2 assassins from his side jumped in to slash him. He created a barrier around him to block the attacks. Suddenly, someone arrived and announced that the guild leader had ordered them to protect Yue. Yue asked who they were. The man approached Yue and introduced himself as Xiaoyao, the vice president of the Supreme Guild. He informed him that their president had sent them to support him. Yue thanked them and advised that if they encounter danger, they shouldn't force a fight. The guy told him that he understood the task. He relayed to the guild members to unite all the forces they can, heal if they can, and harass if they can. Everyone replied yes, and they got their formation. The tanks put their shield up in front while the mages released attacks from the rear. The assassins had to be careful to evade those attacks. Pei got overwhelmed. He commented that those lunatics don't value their lives. He got distracted when a man attacked him. At this time, Yue created a blue orb and it released powerful ice attacks. Yue told Pei that he lived up to his name as the leader of the killer mercenaries since his agility is truly high. Pei replied that unless Yue was like the little girl who uses crowd control, killing him was only a matter of time. Yue dared him to try it. He showed him the 2 menacing skeletons. Unexpectedly, Pei received a message. One of his subordinates informed him that the second young lady of the Su family, Xiaoyao, pointed out that the killer mercenaries had killed members of the Supreme Guild 235 times in total. The mercenaries reacted violently after hearing that. They threatened to kill him. Pei loudly yelled that no one move. Yue raised his staff and told Pei that since he asked for it, he wouldn't hold back. He electrocuted him. Pei couldn't believe that he could inflict such high damage. It made him think that Yue was not an ordinary person. After that, Pei vanished. The mercenaries wanted to avenge their boss, but they were distracted when they received a message from the boss. Pei informed them that Chiki was back because Yue's people helped get her back. He told them that he would keep his promise, so from then on, anyone who opposed Yue would be immediately expelled from the guild. Everyone was surprised. Yue and Xiaoyao waited expectantly. They approached the killer mercenaries. Xiaoyao was about to say something, but Yue told him not to panic. Surprisingly, those men knelt and expressed that they were willing to atone for the lives lost from the Supreme Guild. One man after another expressed that they didn't want their boss to carry the blame alone. Xiaoyao was speechless. Yue lectured them that as citizens of Dragon Nation, their sharpness should be aimed outward, not against their fellow countrymen. He added that killing their own kind is no skill, and protecting their family and defending the Dragon Nation, that is the true meaning of professional survival. He instructed them to tell their boss that the debt must be paid, but in a different way. He told them that all the economic and material losses the Supreme Guild suffered in the past 2 days must be repaid double. In addition, from then on, they were responsible for leading everyone in the Supreme Guild through the Third World. The killer mercenaries happily replied that it was not a problem. Xiaoyao watched Yue exit through the portal. Then he expressed that he now understood why the boss valued Yue so much. When Yue got back to the safe zone, he caught the attention of many because of his pet. A lot of people found it cool. One person was able to recognize that it was the Skeleton King boss from the City of Death map. It made them question if Beast Masters were that strong. Yue checked the status screen of the Dark Skeleton King. It was at a rare grade with 0 out of 10 evolution. Its physical attack was at 640 with 14 stars, physical defense 555 with 12 stars, magic defense 533 with 12 stars, HP 6088 with 18 stars, and MP 511 with 15 stars. This rare grade pet had different special effects like Divine Might, which increased the Dark Skeleton King's attack by 20% and defense by 10%. Another special effect was Overlord Body, which increased the Dark Skeleton King's HP by 20%. It also had different skills like Lord of Shadows, a passive grade skill that reduced damage taken by the Dark Skeleton King by 20% and increased its damage by 20%. The other skill was Shadow Sword Array, an active grade S skill that summoned giant swords falling from the sky to trap enemies. Enemies inside could not escape and took 120% of the Skeleton King's damage per second for 3 seconds. It had a cooldown of 10 seconds. That stat met Yue's expectations. He already knew that the growth stats were higher than normal but was still lacking skills. He remembered that the quest reward had 2 skill books. He planned to teach them to the Skeleton King. There was the Deadly Taunt, which taunted up to 3 monsters within 30 yards, forcing them to attack him and reducing their damage to him by 30% for 10 seconds. The cooldown was 20 seconds. However, this wouldn't work on players, only the damage reduction would apply. The other skill was Ultra Light Slash, which launched a supersonic slash at the enemy, dealing 270% physical damage. This damage ignored 40% of the target's physical defense. The cooldown was 5 seconds. The Skeleton King absorbed the details. Out of the blue, Yen appeared. Yue asked why she was there. She asked him if he killed Jun. Yue replied that he wanted to, but he didn't get a chance since Pei had killed him. Yen was relieved that it wasn't him. Yue asked her why. She replied that Chenny only had one son, Jun, so he was overly protective. She knew that whoever killed Jun would be hunted down by Tianji. Yue acknowledged that she risked her life to help him and that she even went there just to tell him that. That made Yen blush happily and expectantly. Yue called her loyal. It wasn't what she was expecting him to say. She told him that she lost a resurrection just for him and even dropped in level. With that, she prompted him on how he was going to make it up to her. Yue frowned, then advised her to go home and rest first and offered to take her through the Third World the next evening. Yen seemed pleased with that. At Yue's home, he was glad to finally have a break. His phone rang, and when he checked, it was from an unknown number. He picked it up, and immediately the other person on the line thanked him. It was Payu. Payu asked him how he knew his number. Payu revealed that he asked the second young lady of the Su family. He clarified that he didn't mean anything by it and that he just truly wanted to thank him for giving them a chance to turn over a new leaf. He shared that Chiki was everything to him, and for her, he was willing to do anything. That is why he lost his mind and let someone use him. He expressed that they would start anew. He planned that after taking the Supreme Guild through the Third World, they would keep climbing upward and stop doing those sneaky tricks in the Third World. UUA expressed that it was good that Pei had made that decision. The next day, UUA woke up because someone was knocking on his door. He asked who it was. The man on the other side replied that it was delivery. UUA opened the door, confused because he hadn't ordered anything. He was surprised at what he saw. It was a note saying that they were looking forward to seeing him in the professional tournament. After receiving the message, UUA got alarmed that someone knew his true identity. He wondered if it was someone who was also a reincarnator like him. Then his phone buzzed. Yen told him to look at the news at once. He did what he was told and saw that the 100th Professional Glory Tournament was about to start. The Killer Mercenaries headquarters had been a bloodbath with 42 professionals and a 9-year-old tragically killed. He instantly knew that it was Pei and his daughter. The entire Killer Guild was wiped out. Not even the children were spared. He wondered if there was a connection since they were killed at 6 o'clock in the morning, at the same time that he received the mysterious letter. He grabbed his coat at once since he knew that he couldn't stay there any longer. He planned to find a new place to stay. He walked on the busy streets. After changing 3 taxis, going around the city 3 times, and wandering through various residential areas, if someone was following him, he expected them to have shaken him off. The next thing he did was look for a place to stay. A woman welcomed him and asked if he was looking for a place to stay. He replied, yes. The woman offered him a house in the nearby community. She asked if he wanted to take a look. They went to the place. While inside the house, the woman explained the benefits of getting to that place. First, the Shiwiyakin community was the most popular in the area. Also, it was pretty convenient, and although it was an old building, it had great cost performance.